Hey friends, today I'm here with my friend Twila Meyer, and you probably recognize Twila because, 99% of Sundays she's at the keyboard during worship, and we really considered today putting either a keyboard in front of her for her story or one in front of me, and I would underscore her telling her story, but I don't know how to do that. So
it's all right.
You got job security. So she has a story of radical transformation, but it's a story similar to what many Christians, I think, have faced. And so, welcome, Twila.
Thanks, Corey.
Excited to hear your story.
Oh, thank you. Well, I was raised in church. I was raised in a Southern Baptist church.
Yeah.
We went to Sunday school. We went to training union. Well, I went to GA's on Wednesday night. So we were at church anytime the doors were open. We were there. And when I was 8 years old, you know how they'd always do the altar call? Every Sunday was an altar call. And it was usually to Just As I Am, you know. And I could feel something going on, but I wasn't sure what it was. You know, when you're 8, you're not really sure what's going on, you know. But I stepped out. Yeah. And I walked down the aisle like the Southern Baptists do. Yep. And shaking the whole time. Yeah. And I got to the front, and the pastor took my hand and said, you know, why are you down here? That's always the question he would ask. And I said, well, I feel God moving in my life. I want to give my life to Jesus Christ. So it wasn't a dramatic story. It just felt like the time. But I always felt bad about that because it wasn't dramatic.
Right.
Nothing happened in my life to make me make that decision.
The angels didn't descend.
No. I was just a little 8-year-old girl, and I looked at my mom and dad, and I went down.
That's awesome.
But now, I'd say in the last 5 years, I quit feeling bad about that. I felt bad about that for so long. Why didn't I have that dramatic story?
Right.
Why didn't the angels come down? Where was my mountaintop experience? And I realized it was a dramatic story. It was the angels coming down. Yeah. It was just a little more quiet. Yeah. So I've learned to love my story. Yeah. And I'm so excited to be able to share it.
Well, every story is a death to life story, and I think the angels sing just as loud.
Yeah, they do.
When you got saved is when, whatever other story you're imagining is more dramatic gets saved. So, were there times where you felt like, you were closer to God and things like that? Tell me about that.
One story definitely comes to mind. My mom and dad moved up to Virginia my junior year of college. Okay. And I decided I was done with church. I was tired of getting up, going to church on Sundays. And I had commitments on Wednesday night, so it was really easy to quit going on Sundays. And I was like, I'm done. I've done this. I know where I'm going. I'm good. God had another plan. I had a job at local high school accompanying the choir. Yep. And this young man walked into class, and I looked across the room, and it was David.
I know this guy.
You know this guy. I know this guy. I love this guy. And I immediately decided, no, I didn't decide. God decided this was who I was going to be with. Yeah. And we started dating, and I noticed we weren't doing anything on Sundays. And David said, well, I go to church on Sundays. And I'm like, well, I am a Christian. So we started going to church together. And we ended up getting married. And what was so amazing about that is we've been married 42 years. And that whole time he has put up with me. And he has been patient with me. And he's loved me. And he supported me in every step of the way. And I know that was God's hand. I was getting ready to finish out that semester of college and transfer to the University of Maryland.
Wow.
So God, and it happened quick. We only dated a few months and we got married. So that is one of the most dramatic moments in my life that shaped everything. Because then we started going to church together. We got married. Every church we've been in, we've served. And we raised our girls in the church. So to me, that is probably the most dramatic time I can see God just, boom, smacking me and saying, nope, this is what you're going to do.
What I love about it is a lot of times people are looking at, a dramatic beginning, but do you look how God has dramatically used you and grown you? And I can just say, well done in your service and love for the Lord. And I think everybody here has been a witness to it.
Well, it's a blessing.
So we're never done.
Never done. Never done.
So what are your next, what are you thinking? Where am I going next? What's God using me?
Well, I tease Taylor all the time, and I tell him they're going to be, I'm going to be up there with my walker because I love being part of the music program. Every church I've ever been in, I've been in the music program, including this church, which is kind of a fun story. My second Sunday here, you were actually preaching, and the slides came up, and guess what they needed? A keyboard player. And I'm like, okay, this is where I need to be. And I auditioned, and I've been part of it ever since. But I've also done other things behind the scenes where I feel I'm more of a Martha than a Mary. So I like to find things that I can do to either straighten up or clean up or lend a helping hand, take a sticker, buy a bag of chips or whatever. So I can see God doing that through the rest of my life. I don't know how long this season's going to be where I'm able to play and worship and sing. But I know after that season, God's going to use me somehow, some way, even if it's just standing and greeting or writing a little get well card or whatever. Sure. I know God has a plan in the next season of my life.
What a testimony, Twila. You know, one of the things I love about Twila's story is she's not just wearing a shirt that says I have a story, but she has an incredible story. No matter what we thought at the beginning of it, her story is incredible. And you've got a story too. And we'd love to hear whatever God has done in your life. No matter how dramatic or great you think it is, it's God's story. And it's an incredible story of his transformation and his ability to use us. So we'd love to hear your story. Thanks for sharing with us, Twila.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Love you, and can't wait to see how God uses you in the day ahead.
Thanks.